Hi, you guys. Welcome back. And of course, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Tracy, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to overcome a fear of the dark by using a crystal spell. So stay tuned. Since the dawn of time, there has been a fear of the dark. Some people do fear the dark much more than others, but everyone does have just even a tiny bit of fear of the dark from time to time. Now, an extreme fear of the dark is called nyctophobia. Nyctophobia is an extreme fear of the dark that is actually triggered by the person's own perception of what could possibly happen while they're in the dark. So technically, fear of the dark, even extreme fear of the dark, like nyctophobia, is simply your untrained mind run amok. If you have an extreme fear of the dark, such as nyctophobia, there are some other ways that you can also use to find relief from that phobia. So if you are suffering from nyctophobia, some suggested ways to help you to overcome that as well would include to introduce yourself to the dark little by little. And so it's kind of like a baby step program where you just simply expose yourself to darkness, and over again, as you expose yourself to darkness for longer and longer periods of time, then the fear should begin to subside some for you. You could find a therapist and have one-on-one therapy even, so that you can speak about the issue of your fear of the dark to someone who can listen to you and even offer some professional advice. And of course, a very good way to help you to overcome the fear of the dark on your own would be to learn some relaxing breathing techniques and to begin to practice a daily meditation practice. This crystal spell should help you to calm your thinking, to ease your thoughts, and to have peace within you when you try to go to sleep in the dark at night. So if your extreme fear of the dark is just too much for you to try doing this on your own with a well-trained mind, then I would suggest starting with some of those other suggestions before moving into spell work to overcome an extreme fear of the dark. Now, if your fear of the dark isn't quite as extreme, but is only a little bothersome during the night and as you're trying to go to sleep, then this crystal spell is for you. And so, in this book, it will give us, of course, a list of ingredients that we're going to need in order to perform this crystal spell. A howlite crystal. You should also have a small pouch of chamomile flowers. I did not have chamomile flowers at my house, so I improvised as I do from time to time. And I do explain it kind of like a recipe. So, you know, if you need to make some substitutions, that's fine, as long as it makes sense for the actual spell that you're trying to perform. So, since I didn't have chamomile flowers dried, I do have some chamomile tea. And so I made sure that the ingredients in the tea are, solely chamomile. And that is true. So I went ahead and just cut open a couple of tea bags of chamomile. And I'm going to use this. So make substitutions wherever it's necessary and as long as it makes sense. And finally, you also need a light blue tea candle or a votive candle. And in my case, I'm going to use this small stick candle. Basically just a small candle because the spell here does call for this candle to remain lit until it is all the way burned out. So you don't want to leave it lit for way too long by using too large of a candle. One last thing that every single spell needs, at least in my opinion, is a sage smudge stick. Because of course, we start by cleansing all of the materials and also grounding ourselves. After you have done your deep breathing and grounding, then it's time to cleanse your spell materials, especially the crystal. So I'm going to take the Howlite along with the sage that is smoking, and I'm going to go ahead and let the smoke just kind of, run over the crystal to cleanse it. Okay, now once we are done cleansing all of our tools, now it is time to empower our crystal. So the empowering process is where, similar to in our last spell video, which was the spell that will help you clear a haunting, you'll just take the crystal in your hands and you'll sit comfortably with your crystal. And with this crystal in your hand, you will begin to have kind of a meditation session. And during this meditation type of session, you'll just hold the crystal within your hands as you visualize and focus on the intentions that you want to, the intentions that you want the crystal to carry into the spell you're about to perform. So in this case, you're going to want the intention of the Howlite crystal to help you to have peace and calm in your mind, in your thinking when you are in the dark. And you're going to want the dark to be a place of comfort rather than of fear and hiding. So just use strong visualization. See yourself surrounded in protective light. Know that this Howlite crystal is going to be protecting you as well, because you're filling this with the intentions to protect you with the light. So anyway, basically just make sure that you meditate on your intention as well as using strong visualization to just create a strong thought form to perform this spell with. And so when you're done cleansing and empowering your crystal, then it's time to move all of our spell ingredients to our altar. Once you have situated your materials back on your altar, you can simply light the pale blue candle and then speak this spell 3 times. And here's the spell. With this crystal, I magically charge, and no more will I fear the night. My nervousness I now defeat. I sleep in slumber long and sweet. With this crystal I magically charge, and no more will I fear the night. My nervousness I now defeat. I sleep in slumber long and sweet. With this crystal I magically charge, and no more will I fear the night. My nervousness I now defeat. I sleep in slumber long and sweet. And so it is. So after the third time of saying the spell, you want to close it with "and so it is," or "so mote it be," or whatever way that you prefer to close your spells. Once you have recited the mantra 3 times, then you want to take the Howlite crystal and just hold it above the candle flame for a few seconds. Now, you're going to want to hold it quite high above the candle flame, obviously, to avoid burning yourself. So be very careful as you do this part. And after you have done, held the crystal above the flame for a few seconds, you can place it back down here. And then all you have to do now is let the candle burn all the way until it goes out on its own. And once the candle has gone out, you can take the Howlite crystal and place the Howlite crystal on your nightstand or near your bed. And with the chamomile, you can sprinkle the chamomile around the base of your bed. Or another option would be to place the chamomile inside a pouch of some kind. And that way you can put the pouch in your pillowcase, so that you are surrounded with this calming chamomile and this Howlite crystal, which is also calming and protective. You can keep the chamomile and the Howlite in your bedroom for as long as you feel it is necessary. And when you have overcome your fear of the darkness, you can then take these spell ingredients and put your crystal back where it belongs, and you can simply bury the chamomile, the dried chamomile, when you're done using it. After you have performed this crystal spell with strong intentions and deliberate actions, then you should begin to feel the fear of the darkness being lifted from your consciousness. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. So if you like this video, be sure to click that like button. And also feel free to share it out with your friends. And of course, if you're a viewer but not yet a subscriber, I would love for you to click subscribe right under this video. And once you have subscribed, you can then click the bell to be notified each and every time that I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching and spending your time with me. I love you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.